And now for something completely different. I am here with my incredible on-3 team as we go through these VBL Season 10 VBLSX against Purple Rain, who has a very funny team. It has 3 Booster NG Mons. It has 4 Eviolite Mons. Qfint and Finizen not pictured there because I kept getting Finizen confused with Palafin. And I don't think Qfint is likely to come over Tinkertuff, who I also don't think is likely to come. There are many things to be said about this team, but it is certainly a team that features 6 Pokemon. This is so again, this is a competitive Pokemon is a game. I don't know how he managed to have like 6 Pokemon that are better than all, like, so. Maybe Sandy Shocks, is competing with Iron Treads. Though I definitely favor Sandy Shocks. I have not bought Iron Treads once this season. It is just an absolute nightmare of a Pokemon. Iron Treads is. I'm clearly just not understanding how to use it or something, because I just have not been able to bring it at all. And that trend does continue this week, as we see a Water type. Not only that, the Water type is also immune to ground and has Intimidate. Yeah. So I have to say, an incredible. Sorry, I'm playing Purple Rain, and the rebranded team whose name is escaping my mind. It's not the Baltimore Buzzballs anymore, and I do not remember what the team name is. I honestly have no idea what Purple Rain's thing is, but I know Purple Rain's been posting on his YouTube channel, and I've been watching the videos, but I could not tell you what his record is. Could be undefeated, could be 2-1, 1-2. I'm pretty sure he's won at least one game, but I don't know. There have been a few players. No, I'm pretty sure there's only 3 players who are 0-3 in our pool right now. And yeah, made some transactions. I think I don't know what was dropped or picked up. I really have been dead this week, and I have to say incredible thanks to the Jordan for helping me prep. Just absolutely indispensable. I got some other players assisting me with feedback as well, but Jordan really helped me put a coherent team together, and I have been incredibly busy between study and university and the my other flatmate moving out and then having to get a new one, that I really just have not had the time heading into this game. So yeah, incredible thanks to Jordan. Now, this is a matchup, right? See, I somehow, I was trying to draft a team that had 11 Pokemon, but honestly, it feels right now like it's got 8, which isn't great considering how much I spent on Iron Treads. I have not had a matchup for Rotom. If I did have a matchup for Rotom, this might be it, but they have such a strong Dark type, and its speed tier is really not it here, with 4 Pokemon that are naturally faster than it. And then Heatran, it's not going to break through, and then it's okay, well, if this tears into some type that resists electric, then its dual stab is resisted. And I think Knuckle Stack is the most likely to come of these 3. I don't think my Dragon matchup is bad enough, even without bringing Iron Treads, to justify or Wigglytuff. I don't have a Dragon weakness, right? And then my Grass matchup is not amazing. It's possible they bring it, but I just click Ice Beam and then it dies, and I also have the ability to Terra away from it. So I'm not particularly expecting Flapple, especially because it's threatened really hard by Cleavor, threatened really hard by Iron Chocolate, threatened really hard by Salazzle, and they're the main Pokemon that I've been bringing game to game. So yeah, I'm not super worried about this. These bottom 2, these 2. It could just come for Fake Out. Knuckle Stack might come. I could not tell you which Pokemon is staying off the bench. I think it's probably one of these 3. I think Gyarados, Heatran. I don't know. Maybe it's this one. I think Gyarados and Heatran are coming every game. Gyarados and Heatran are both incredible Pokemon. My opponent's team is very difficult to try and play around. So this is what we wound up coming with, and I did make a couple changes, but it's very similar to the version of the composition that Jordan got, and you can definitely tell I wasn't the main person, because there's 2 separate Terra Blast Pokemon. But I definitely respect the thought processes there, because even with Qfint added, there are The poison resists and just add the Q-Fint are all weak to ground, so the ground poison combination is very strong. Someone called Nidoking. So that is very cool. Yeah, so everything else does not take poison moves super well, though some of them take them alright. I think Roaring Moon is fairly good special defense, does it not? No. Yes, yeah, no, it's got quite good special defense. So I'm pretty sure it takes it pretty well. So yeah, the Sash on the Salazzle is finally coming out. Now we have the Tauros White Herb, so that lets it cover like a few different options. So it's like it covers like a Dragon Dance. It can cover Intimidate into Defiant for +2 attack. Calm Mind just to give me the special defense, I guess, and Iron Defense as well. Though none of them are amazing. But it's mostly because Normal Stab is pretty alright combined with the fighting move, and then the Q-Fint as well on the off chance it comes. So they need to like Terra to play around it, which is pretty good, and its speed tier is pretty reasonable, only dropping below these two, and then Boosters Anti-Shocks. That's right, slow them 3 Pokemon, always fun. So yeah, and then Wild Charge being able to hit Gyarados is pretty nice. Intimidate is definitely a bit of an issue though. And I think Jordan had a version with Body Slam, but I really felt that I needed the double edge damage, even if I do miss the survivability. Some of the Terra options are really interesting as well. Iron Jugulis has come with the Terra Ground as well. This is just a better ground type than Iron Tride's most games, it seems. So yeah, Mental Herb to deal with Taunt coming out from either of these, as well as theoretically potentially an Encore from Screamtail. And Ground Flying is in much the same situation as Ground Poison. It just hits everything as a stab combination, even if I have to Hurricane an Air Balloon. At least that's a little more than Salazzle can do, which is hitting Terra Blast without clicking Terra. So yeah, I can get Tailwind up somewhat reliably. I do also have the Trick Room option, which it's like maybe there's a game where that makes some sense. But it's mostly here with a Clear Amulet so that it can't be intimidated, because I'm quite worried about Gyarados. Just because its stab is okay, it's not amazing. This team definitely is not super worried about Fairy types, and it's weird into Ghost types. It's a lot better if Knuckle Stack comes than if it doesn't. But yeah, so that's definitely the main consideration there. Decidueye really has a great offensive spread with its dual stab and Terra Blast, combined with the scope lens and the high crit rates on Triple Arrows and Leaf Blade. It makes it, a bit of a challenge for my opponent if they are like trying to use something like a Breaking Swipe drop or things to mitigate my damage output, and then I'm able to get it up. Like this, I can live a Banded CC from Gyarados or 2 Brave Birds if I'm Terra Electric. Like this, I can live 1 Flamethrower from Modest Heatran, or 2 Flamethrowers if I'm Terra Electric. So, if I Terra Electric, I can live a double up of a Flamethrower and a Banded Brave Bird from Gyarados, and I felt like that was feeling pretty decent in terms of the defensive spread. The 4 speed's kind of random. I just had the extra 4 stats, and didn't really make sense to put them in special attack. And then Gastrodon is here, it's slow, and it's trying to do damage with Hydro and Ice Beam, and it has some survivability in Citrus. There was Covert Cloak in Jordan's Paste, but I feel like I am scared enough of losing a Pokemon that aren't Knuckle Stack to run Citrus Berry. I just want that ability to take like 3 hits instead of 2 in some matchups, and 2 hits instead of 1 in some matchups. That was my main thoughts. So I am going to send a challenge through to my opponent. Game 1. You can tell a lot about a person by whether they reject open team sheets in a draft game or not. Go on. Yeah, okay, so not bringing the Knuckle Stack tech wound up paying off. And that's no Flapple either. Oh, okay. Gosh, my computer is struggling right now. Okay. Yeah, that's a new one. So yeah, if we're just getting a sense of the weaknesses of the team as it actually stands, with I've deleted and no, the correct amount of Pokemon. Some of the Terra Electric seems maybe a little bit worse, but the Mimikyu seems pretty reasonable. Maybe I should have been Claw instead of Sneak, though I do appreciate the utility of Sneak. It's your friend. And yeah, I wish I had a Cloyster on this team. I think game 1, so like the speed tiers, like Trick Room seems very very consistent in terms of getting having the opportunities to make like moves. But can I actually set Trick Room? Because I kind of need it next to Salazzle, and I guess it'd be a comp like these two. I prefer no. So that's an option for Trick Room, but there's always this option as well. And then probably something like Tauros and Mimi makes some sense, and Decidueye also makes some sense, even in this faster mode. It is slower than some max speed Pokemon, so it's probably going to be slower than Gyarados. Maybe I should have invested more speed. I just didn't want to take it from attack or defense. But maybe they're creeping Mimi, and they would still be faster because they're speed tie at max Mimi. So, but I think it probably is Decidueye last. Okay. This makes me expect Gravity, Sing, Hypnosis, whichever one it gets. So, I mean, I can fake out Screamtail because I know it can't, like, I know that it doesn't have Covert Cloak. It may Terra, but then I have the value of them having clicked Terra. And then I kind of want to Terra Ground and Tailwind to prevent a Thunderbolt from KOing, though it's possible I live anyways. This is probably one of the matchups I should have checked, because Jordan did a lot to help with investment. It does not look like I live. Not reliably anyways. Okay. Flinch. Thunderbolt into the slot that we were hoping to see it into. So look, this definitely makes me just want to go for this Sludge Bomb and the Earth Power. I don't know what Terra the Sandy Shocks is. Maybe Terra Grass. And I could Sludge Bomb the Sandy Shocks. Obviously the Salazzle only really has Sludge Bomb at this point. The Terra Blast is like okay neutral damage. I could double Sandy Shocks with a Sludge Bomb Hurricane, predicting a Terra Grass or Flying. Though that feels very presumptive. That feels like a lot. I think I Sludge Bomb. I do go for the Earth Power. I kind of expect a Terra to come out from Sandy Shocks, and I'm just hoping it's not like a Grass Terra Blast that Okos me. Actually, this Sludge Bombs, there's no way it's Okoing Screamtail, right? But I don't think the double up would either, yeah. So Sludge Bomb just lets me advance a game state, right? So I may as well just burn the Earth Power into the Sandy Shocks, even if it Terras. They also have a bunch of really good switch-ins. Okay, so that one went for the Protect. Let's see what it went for this turn. It went for Sunny Day, which made Sandy Shocks faster. This definitely makes me think the Sandy Shocks is a Terra, which is going to try and get around me. So this version of it, it's got no bulk, it seems. Based on that Sludge Bomb damage, doing 63. Okay, no, so it looks like it has some bulk. Just not that much. Oh, it may have that much bulk, okay. So Earth Power, likely not picking up, and I don't trust myself to hit Hurricane in the sun. So that says to me, I Sludge Bomb, probably still Earth Power. Okay, yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty unsurprising, though if they go for the Earth Power here into Jinx, I do have the Sash. Okay, I went for Terra Blast. And with the boost, it's very unsurprising they get the KO as well. I think I want to get Gonalizir. I don't have Terra Blast on this mon anymore. So Decidueye just dies. Great. But I can... Oh, they're just going to burn in my last turn of Tailwind. I definitely expect the Sandy Shocks to protect here. I'm going to go for the double up into... No, why would I double up? I should just go for an attack into both. Triple Arrows makes more sense. It's only Gyarados that it doesn't want to see switching in. I'm just going to double up into the thing. I've seen Protect on Sandy Shocks, right? I assume the last move is Earth Power as well. Okay, and do we see Protect from Sandy Shocks as well? We do. It's not shocking. As sandy as it may be. I could Protect the Decidueye, but I still just think I need to get some damage into Zapdos. If Heatran comes in this slot, obviously that's annoying, especially if they do Brave Bird into there. But Taurus is coming in, and Roaring Moon is the only Pokemon that's faster than it. Cool, it's +2, and they don't have Terra anymore. So, is Sludge Bomb KOing Zapdos? It's a roll. Great news. Great news, everyone. I think I Sludge Bomb the Zapdos and Protect the Taurus. It's yeah, not looking like much of a roll. Gosh. No, it was Bandit I lived, so I live, certainly with Terra I live 2 of those Brave Birds. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I should have double-edged into it. Just felt difficult to make that call in, Okay, also it didn't die because of my bloody... that's fine. I'm going to Sludge Bomb and Close Combat. And they haven't seen my Sash. They've just seen I don't have a particularly large amount of bulk. Yeah, Sun is spooky. I think they may have brought Sunny Day previously. I don't remember for sure, though. And I guess I hadn't noticed that, yeah, all 3 of them are the thing, because they don't have any sun-related ones. Okay, game 1 up. Let's see if I can carry this through. I think I've been game 1 up in 2 other series, and I haven't been able to carry it through. But let's see if I can this series. Them having Zapdos was good. Roaring Moon, I don't think guaranteed lost me the game, but it certainly was a more difficult position. But because I don't have Protect on Salazzle. Certainly the Iron Jugulus lead wound up proving to be pretty strong. The damage from Decidueye was pretty relevant. I could definitely consider going for Trick Room. They reveal the Sunny Day on the Screamtail. Yeah, I definitely want to... I'm tempted to switch up to the Salazzle, Mimikyu, Decidueye, Gastrodon version of the team. Pretty tempted to. I just feel like the slow mode seems to match up pretty well into what they committed to this series. Bit weak to Gyarados. But I don't really have a version of the comp which isn't weak to Gyarados. I mean, I think I still want to throw the Fake Out into Screamtail, but maybe I throw the Fake Out into Sandy Shocks, assuming they go for the same league, which they obviously may well not do. We know that it's not Covert Cloak, so it may be Booster Energy. Sorry, we know it's not Booster Energy, so it may be Covert Cloak. The opposite of what I tried to say, of what I said, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it definitely felt like, because they had that fairly Protect-centric team, that being able to get more turns out of thing. And, you know, like I'd mentioned, throwing Sludge Bomb into that Sandy Shocks, but it didn't feel like I was pressured to make that decision. And it does seem like I wasn't. I forgot that Oblivious also covered it. We didn't see an item on Sandy Shocks. That's interesting. I'm kind of tempted to just go for Wisp into Gyarados and click Trick Room. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go for. I don't think I need to Fake Out here. For one thing, either of these Pokemon could be Cloak, but for the other, I do think I value the Wisp into Gyarados. And if they double Salazzle, then I just get a free switch. Yeah, Clear Amulet wound up being more valuable than Life Orb in this particular matchup. Okay, so I don't think it should be able to KO me. It may have Iron Head and then flinch me. It has Taunt. Okay, well that could be a problem. So Sandy Shocks. Terra Blast into Sandy Shocks is looking like a KO if I double it with Shadow Sneak. Okay, that's cool. Icy Wind. That's not cool. I do still have Clear Amulet at least, but yeah, that's not cool. Icy Wind, and Taunt. Interesting. I think I just have to double Zapdos here. They probably KO with the Waterfall. They haven't played, sorry, they haven't done anything that stops me getting switched. They are Life Orb, actually. I could Wisp the Zapdos and Protect. No, I cannot Protect. I don't have Protect for one thing, and I cannot click it anyways. So I could go Gastrodon in this slot. I don't love it. We did see the Sludge Bomb wasn't getting a KO. Gyarados definitely could get a KO. So if sorry, the value with Gastrodon is that it doesn't let Gyarados KO Salazzle unless it's got like a random move that I'm not accounting for. Helping Hand, Brave Bird, okay. And how does this Wisp go? Do I hit? Helping Hand is interesting because I'm only at what, 70 odd. Does it really need Helping Hand, or was that Helping Hand specifically covering the switch that I wound up making? Obviously it's possible that it was, right? Yeah, it kind of just seems like they're gonna throw another one out. I wish I had reset my Salazzle, but I didn't really have the option to, or opportunity. Did we see Salazzle's speed interaction with Gyarados? We don't know how bulky it is. I think they may have just been playing around the Gastrodon switch in specifically. So I think I go for the Play Rough. I do die to the Helping Hand, but I don't die otherwise. Oh, interesting. Okay, and now we have the Play Rough. Sorry, the Sludge Bomb coming into this other slot. No burn. Okay, it is quite bulky, right? I'm pretty sure that's quite a bulky version. Yeah, this is probably bad. Gyarados, I'm sorry, Decidueye does live on. So, does Decidueye one-hit KO? Did they Terra? No. Yeah, Decidueye doesn't one-hit KO either. They're probably clicking Terra at this turn. The problem is, I don't know what the Terra is and what they're trying to do with it. I kind of want to switch Decidueye into the Salazzle slot and just Play Rough. Do I think that 2 Play Roughs will KO this Gyarados? It's not Citrus Berry, but it may be... I honestly think it might be Covert Cloak. It's thinking that 2 Play Roughs will KO. I could just double the Heatran as well to try and put it in range, but I feel like the Gyarados is just too much of an issue. Also, it could be Fire Blast. It only revealed Heat Wave, which doesn't really give me much information. I can see whether Heatran Heat Wave is likely to get a KO here. 65 to 77. It's not likely, but the Icy Wind double up does seem like an issue. So that definitely makes me want to bring Decidueye in and then get that Play Rough into Gyarados. They went for Terra Flying. Okay. And they only hit my one Pokemon. Okay, so it looks like a Sneak is likely to pick up a KO in this situation. I'm definitely clicking Protect, and I'm going for Shadow Sneak into Gyarados. Like, this isn't really surprising. I'm hoping that this Mimikyu doesn't get KO'd by this. I wouldn't expect it to. Or it could just dodge a million times. So it looked like we were expecting Salazzle to take one. Though I don't know if that's more useful than just going for attacks. In the same situation, like with the same facts, this set is not looking particularly helpful. So I could just go for triple arrows, try and get a defense drop if I dodge, and then just start sneaking or is play roughing. We haven't seen an item. Maybe it's charcoal. They do, they do. Yeah, I'm definitely benefiting from the misses. It is, yeah, a bit. Note that I did not click Heat Wave with Salazzle. I do not trust the move. So Mimikyu. Okay, yeah, so the damage is past what we expect. So it does look like it may be charcoal. No, that was Helping Hand boosted. That's annoying. Yeah, I think I just go for, the play rough. Okay, can I hit this play rough? I can. That's good for me, obviously. Yeah, I think I just Sludge Bomb and play rough. It seems like it should win. I don't know if they're secretly a Soulfest. Terra Flying wound up being pretty interesting. Definitely, like I said, a lot of thanks to Jordan for his help in preparation. I'd like to not miss play rough, but the fact that I died to the next one is pretty rough. Okay, it's Citrus Berry. So it comes down to whether this Heat Wave KOs a Salazzle. It doesn't get even close. Though they should technically spam Protect for, the burn KO. It is only 2 more Protects because I have 18. GG's. Wild series. That was, definitely a wild series. You good for VC? I don't know if he was. Okay, cool. And yeah, I am, definitely feeling alright. Obviously, luck plays into it. And I've popped into VC, just waiting for our good. Hello!
Oh, I can't hear you. Give me a second. Okay. Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Sorry. That was a series.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt after my previous series, and I'm still feeling it this series.
Yeah. I mean, double Heat Wave miss is just brutal.
Yeah.
On Mimikyu.
It definitely it definitely kept me in the game.
Yep.
I was wondering if it was going to pay you back with a play rough miss, and like half if I should like go for Sludge for Shadow Sneak, but then I'm like, okay, but if you crit the Heat Wave back, look, it's definitely emulating what I want. But at least game 1 was pretty clean, right?
Yeah, you totally rocked me game 1. Game 1 was really well played.
Yeah.
I was.
I'll send you my pace.
I even thought of it.
I'll send you my pace if you want to send me yours. I said.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that you played game 1
did you save
fine.
the replays, by the way?
I did save the replays, yeah.
Okay, good.
We'll like schedule to both get the videos out at the same time, I assume.
Yep. Yeah. Let me. Sorry, I'm just getting up.
It's all good. Yeah. Obviously, I only learned 1 item that series, right? No, 2 items with the Citrus Berry. Which, that's the calc, not.
Did I not send you?
No, you sent me calc.
I meant to send. Oh.
You just sent me a link to Pokemon
reason,
Showdown calc.
No, it was showing up on my page as the
paste. Oh, okay, that's odd.
thing, but it was, for some reason, the URL was still the calc. Okay. Anyways, that's the paste.
Okay, so it was Cloak on Shocks. It was Mental Herb on Gara.
Yep.
We both brought a Mental Herb this series. Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf. You didn't even run Breaking Swipe. Nope. Is it Shadow Claw? Like, I know why Shadow Claw.
I figured Breaking Swipe would be. I mean, the fourth move was just like whatever. I was never clicking it. Was my mindset. It probably should have been Tailwind, honestly. But
maybe Thunderwave last move. Okay, this Gyarados.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I think it was good.
I think if you switched it would have been better. And getting an extra, like an extra Intimidate would have been nice. Actually, no. I brought the team that didn't lose to Decidueye. That's right. Sorry, to Intimidate. Yeah. I forgot I specifically did that.
Yeah, I was never. Yeah, I need the Intimidate.
Yes. So I would have said it in the video to people watching, but you wouldn't have heard it. I have to give a lot of thanks to Jordan for giving me a lot of input with prep. Helped me certainly really bang out a structure, and then I have certainly done some individual decisions on my own, but really helped me get that strong baseline. Certainly this Decidueye spread is all my madness, but a lot of the rest definitely comes from a lot of help from Jordan.
Yeah, I almost EV'd my Decidueye to outspeed Tauros, but people I was prepping with convinced me Tauros was not good here, and so it wouldn't come.
Your Zapdos?
Yeah, my Zapdos.
You mean the Pokemon that is...
Can it not outspeed? Oh, it can't outspeed. Right.
Like
Never
10
mind.
base speed slow?
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I thought Tauros was... Or I thought it was speed tying, sorry.
The other Tauros is the other speed
Tauros?
tie.
Yeah.
But this is the fast one.
Never mind.
No, it's not the bad one, it's the fast one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how that works. I'm surprised you brought so much like anti-Earthquake and then didn't run Earthquake on your Scarfer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have, but I mean, it's not like it even came to the series, so I wasn't.
That is true, but maybe it would have
particularly worried.
Felt better.
I don't think it would have. I don't think even with Earthquake I wouldn't have brought it. Maybe it was right to, but I really just thought that the Gyarados switch for Screamtail was correct, and I honestly still feel like that was correct. I just feel like
it was correct. It wound up being a much closer game. I mean, I calced my my Decidueye to live Flamethrower from Modest max special attack, so Heat Wave, even with the Helping Hand, was really just not getting KOs. And I mean, something support move. Helping handing a spread move always feels worse than helping handing a single target move.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it wasn't getting the KO, like one-hit KOs, but in theory, it shouldn't have needed to. Like, it should have been fine getting two-hit KOs with Heat Wave.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about my decisions to target Gyarados. I feel like maybe I should have thrown an earlier play rough into Heat Track, but yeah. Which wound up not being only being relevant for damage into Gyarados.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're into.
I mean, I don't know. I think it was probably right because I Terraflyinged immediately, right? Or no?
Heatran?
Yeah.
I think you protected then Terraflyinged, or maybe immediately. Definitely not too different to that.
Yeah. So then, maybe play roughs into it.
Capdos getting Tailwind was a really big buff.
Gyarados getting Tailwind?
No, Gyapdos.
What?
Zapdos?
Oh, yeah.
Because it didn't have it last gen, and that makes it a lot more flexible. And it was already, not bad at all. I also had, I lived, a banded Gyapdos CC with, Decidueye.
Oh, okay. That's strong.
Yeah, I mean, I just had defensive calcs on deck for it. I kind of wish I'd run more speed, because I wound up being 1 point slower than your Gyapdos in Tailwind, because I speed type max speed Mimikyu in Tailwind.
Okay.
But I was just kind of throwing this together. I could have taken did 8 out of attack, put it in speed, and then in Tailwind, a Tailwind advantage, I would have been outspeeding Gyapdos. Or no, that would have been a tie. No, it's doubled, so it would have outsped by 1. Maths.
Okay. Game 1, I made some mistakes. I should like there was an opportunity for me to click Tailwind with Gyarados, and I didn't because I thought I needed to get a KO with it,
I think you did.
which was just wrong.
No, you just also needed Tailwind. I think you just needed a lot of things that game.
Yeah, but I mean, like Tailwind, I think was yeah. I was never winning. I think after turn 1, pretty much.
Yeah. I like turn 2. I was, and you'll hear this in the video, contemplating going for like a Sludge Bomb and a Hurricane into Sandy Shocks.
I thought you were going to. That's why I protected it. That I was like,
no.
Like this is definitely a double Sandy Shocks turn.
Oh no, I meant on the turn that I Earth powered into the other one. I think the other time I was definitely still considering putting damage onto Screamtail. I needed to get some sense of what Screamtail's investment was, and I didn't really walk away with any because it's just max speed.
I mean, yeah, it was.
I was like,
pretty much.
This is either a little bit of bulk or a lot of bulk. It's very difficult to tell. Because like the first calc I had in front of me was like, oh, Screamtail is barely 2 at KO'd, and then it took 63.
Yeah. It was was it low roll into high roll or something?
No, it was. No, that was just a normal roll. The auto calc had a bulkier Screamtail than you ran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Now I understand what you're saying. So, say you had one and it went to game 3. What do you think you would have switched up to?
Well, I would have expected you to go back to your game 1 lead, I think. But I still think I lead Gyarados. I think I probably lead the same as game 2.
Did I get an attack drop into Gyarados with Play Rough?
No, I think you...
I was wondering if I could have known for sure it wasn't Cloak, because I don't know which Pokemon I would have faked out if you led Sandy Shocks and Gyarados again. Especially after revealing that Wisp was not helpful. That helping hand definitely paid dividends, but obviously it was also your best play most of the time. The taunt was good. Mental Herb wound up being on the wrong Pokemon, but Clear Out won me that game.
Yeah. I think I probably, in the back, I would have had Gyapdos and either Roaring Moon or Heatran. I don't know which. I probably would have gone Heatran, and I probably should go Roaring Moon in the back.
Roaring Moon definitely cleaned up game 1, game 2. Well, because you didn't Breaking Swipe, so I guess it didn't clean up game 1. But it should definitely have had Breaking Swipe over Rock Slide. Rock Slide is not a stat move. Or over Shadow Claw.
No, but it's... Yeah, it should be over Shadow Claw, but... I mean, I don't know, even... I don't dislike Rock Slide.
It's fine.
For flinches.
Just not winning games, and Breaking Swipe has the opportunity to win you, games.
What game is Breaking Swipe winning against this team?
If you had it game 1, Breaking Swipe allows you to KO Slazzle and then put pressure on Taurus, and then I don't have the ability to make that super clean defensive play that I made.
Wait, at what point? Which would it be in the back? You're saying?
If it was instead of Heatran game 1, then you won that game.
I disagree. I don't think it...
You may have won with Outrage, even.
I mean, no. I mean, I guess, but I'm never clicking Outrage before I know all 4 of your Pokemon because of Mimikyu.
Yeah. Heatran came out at the same turn as Tauros, so that was my 4th Pokemon.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
I think if you had Tailwind up, yeah, Heatran was in a better position, but I don't know if it was winning, because it was still...
Heatran wasn't winning.
I'm not sure what turn you clicked Tailwind that you won game 1. Because I feel like...
I don't think I ever win, I think it's closer. There's...
You made very impactful moves with Zapdos every turn that it was on board.
Yeah, Zapdos... Okay, well, that's at least something I got out of this series. Zapdos is very good.
Yeah, you just picked it up now, right?
Transaction. What?
You just picked it up now?
Yeah, I picked it up just before this.
I don't remember what Pokemon you dropped for it.
I dropped... It was a 4 transaction.
Yeah, I know you picked up Tinkertuff, and... Was Flapple also new?
Flapple, Sandy Shocks,
Sandy
and
Shocks was new too.
uh,
Tinkertuff, yeah.
this is Zapdos.
I
And I lost Toedscruel,
Raichu,
Toedscruel,
Braviary,
Raichu.
and Passimian. I mean, I think Raichu was the only one of those Pokemon that was scary for me. Maybe Braviary. I definitely, am not a big Toedscruel believer. I think Flapple is probably similarly good for the structure of your team, which is to say,
I think
both of
Flapple's
them
actually
struggle
better
to
for
come.
my. I think Flapple's better for my team, but Flapple's still a worse Pokemon.
I think that
I never find myself.
I think the difference in how good they are is why they are similarly good. Flapple fits the team better, but is a worse Pokemon. Like Flapple, I thought was maybe an outsized mon to come here instead of Screamtail, or I think I said that you were basically always bringing Gyarados and Heatran, and then anything else could have not come, but I expected the mons you brought to come. I obviously didn't prep for Finizen and Cufant, and I wound up making prep decisions that one was like calling Knacklestack and Tinkertuff not coming. And then I'm like, okay, and how much am I respecting Flapple? And I think I wound up respecting it quite a bit, but yeah.
Flapple was something I thought about, but ultimately decided against because I'm already pretty fairy weak, and Mimikyu already felt like it had a good matchup into me.
I mean, Mimikyu did beat up Heatran.
Yeah.
The fact that you were pressured to Terra Heatran made it very difficult for you to beat Mimikyu, which is why Mimikyu was a good brain.
Yeah, for sure. Mimikyu, I was like, Mimikyu's always showing up, Gastrodon's always showing up, and then everything else I was kind of up in the air on. I thought Jugulus and Salazzle were likely, and I actually thought Bruxish over
Yeah, I
Tauros,
think
probably.
had I not had as much input from Jordan, I may well have brought Bruxish. Maybe a Decidueye. I don't know. I was committed. Committed. I had an idea about committing to a hard Trick Room version of this team, which would have had the Mental Herb on Mimikyu. And honestly, it seems like it would have been okay into the team that you wound up bringing.
Yeah.
But not amazing. The Gyarados would definitely have been annoying for it, just with Intimidate, which is why it's a good ability. Like not having Clear Amulet on Mimikyu would have meant that it was more of a dead slot. Obviously, I don't think Decidueye clicked anything besides Protect this series successfully.
Yeah, it clicked a move into Protect, but
oh no,
it
did click a Triple Arrows. I don't know what it hit with Triple Arrows. I hit a Protect.
It hit nothing. Yeah, it hit a Protect, yeah.
It hit the Gyarados Protect as well, because I didn't get to Terra Electric, because I felt pressured to Terra Ground turn 1 both games.
Yeah, but the Terra Ground, like, really...
Yeah,
I mean, it wrecked
games.
me game 1.
Yeah.
I was prepared for it game 2, but, you know...
Obviously, a Terra Ground the other one. And then forced your Terra on Heatran. The Poison Ground matchup into your team was like, be happy the Nido's on the format, so you're just dealing with Clodsire. Because your Poison Ground best check is no, that was the Mimikyu.
Sandy Shocks.
No, sorry, your best Rotom check was Sandy Shock's the ground check.
I mean, it kind of like it kind of is.
I think it was
maybe it's Gyarados.
Knacklestack, the greatest Pokemon of all time.
I
wish I
thought about bringing Knacklestack, but
yeah,
it would have been bad here.
I think that Tinkertuff was also like maybe bringable. I really feel like the Scarf Roaring Moon was very difficult for my game 1 plan to deal with, and then proved to be pretty difficult for my game 2 plan to deal with. But Heatran wound up being obviously very, very good, because it turns out Heatran's a good Pokemon. I don't know if you knew that.
It was only my first pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I game 1, I think I made a lot of. I don't know. I don't know
if you made a lot of mistakes.
I probably should have adapted.
I think
I should have adapted more to Tauros.
I don't know what plays.
Team preview.
I don't know what plays you made that I thought were wrong. So if we go back turn by turn, so if we go to turn 1, obviously, I faked out the one who didn't have Covert Cloak because I knew they didn't, because they showed an item.
Yeah.
They were Terra Steel, not even Terra Ghost. Encore would have lost to Mental Herb. Imagine if you had lost to. Yeah, imagine if you encored the Iron Jugulus instead of setting Sun, because I had Mental Herb.
Oh, okay.
Or you may
Well, I
lock
mean,
into
I
Terra
wasn't even
Poison
sure.
to avoid the
I
slush
wasn't
bomb.
sure.
The only move I
I,
clicked.
I was never I was never going to Encore Jugulus because I didn't know if you had uh Earth. I thought you were going to Earth Power pretty much
Yeah,
into Sandy Shocks,
yeah, and then locking
or
into
like I
Earth
thought that
Power
was
when you
possible.
Terra Grassed was an option. Obviously, Sandy Shocks only got the Terra Blast KO because of Sun.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah.
Because like it's a roll for Thunderbolt to KO, and then the Sun made it so that Terra Blast was not a roll,
Hmm.
or Thunderbolt if I had not terrored myself. Because Terra Blast is a weird move that I probably underuse. It was interesting having it on two
Yeah.
Pokemon and then never clicking it. No, I did click it with Salazzle. It was very impactful. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, it was really good. And it was threatening. Yeah, game one it was amazing, and in game two it was threatening. Or
Yeah,
which maybe the other way around? I don't remember.
something. But yeah, you
Yeah.
brought obviously a team with multiple ground immunes. Were there ever turns when you were in against like that game one? It feels like with the Pokemon staying in, you definitely made reasonable decisions. Like certainly turn one, I don't think was a bad play. What were you supposed to do? Raw Terra Blast the Jugulus?
Yeah, never. I never do that
Yeah, so
because I don't even know if you're Terra Ground. Like you probably are, but I never. Maybe you're Terra Ghost in case I brought Tinkatuff or something.
yeah, you really just didn't know any information there, right? So yeah, that seemed like a pretty reasonable play. And then turn two, the Protect Sunny Day was a reasonable play. It was the reason that you got the KO into Jugulus that turn. Now I think I was fine trading it for Chip because that Chip guaranteed that Salazzle would KO the Sandy Shocks, which was definitely part of what I was calculating at the time. Then turn three, you got a KO. Your main other options were like switches. Going hard Heatran in the Screamtail slot would have advanced your game state, but I don't know if that's a play you should feel comfortable making.
I was definitely not considering. I mean, I think I actually. Okay, that's not true. I considered bringing bringing in Heatran multiple times, if I'm remembering correctly, but I always was like, I can't do it in front of Earth Power Entailment. Like it's like
Yeah.
because there's no way for me to KO Jugulus before Jugulus gets an Earth Power off. So like, why am I taking such a like that instantly loses me the game? But maybe I'm in such a losing state already that I need to just be willing to take that risk.
Yeah. So I don't know. There definitely was the opportunity for that play on that one turn, and that really feels like the only play that you had. Like I feel like you were pretty firmly in the back most of that game, and like you didn't have greater utility on a Heatran, right? The last move was Solar Beam. Now,
Yeah.
you couldn't flamethrower, you couldn't flash cannon. I know game two. I was worried about flash cannon coming out into Mimikyu, but then you were stuck clicking Heat Wave, and obviously if I had more defense investment, but if I had less speed, there's always the things with spreads and investments and all that. Then game state could have been different, but with having what we have, Earth Power and Solar Beam, both not the most compelling of moves, which is why you didn't click them.
Well, in that state, yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, like I
Solar
think
Beam
there was more of a
cute,
use case for Solar Beam than Earth Power. I don't know that Earth Power was a good bring here.
I think Earth Power is fine. Well, into your team, what did I bring it? I mean, I know I brought it for
It's Salazzle.
Salazzle.
Which,
Is that it?
yeah. I have one other ground weakness, it's weak to fire.
Oh, treads. Well, yeah, true.
So like,
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
guess Earth
Flamethrower
Power
or
was
Fire
probably
Blast
wrong.
would have been...
But Flash Cannon isn't that much better because like I didn't think you were bringing Wigglytuff because it's really bad.
yeah,
and
would
I
have just hit
didn't
Mimikyu.
think.
And Flamethrower and Fire Blast
Yeah.
also would have hit it better.
Yeah, Flamethrower was probably better. Flamethrower or Fire Blast was probably better than.
This is very much how I am as a Heat Waveist. I don't like running Heat Wave unless I have another like stab move that's 100% accurate. Flash Cannon hits Cleavor. That's why it's good. It means that you are doing a lot better into like my Trick Room Cleavor option. I obviously didn't wind up bringing Cleavor, but yeah.
But I thought you weren't going to because you were so. But like because you were so mad at Cleaver, pretty much.
Yeah,
I wasn't like hard prepping again, like hard ignoring it, but I was like, I don't think Cleaver comes here.
I probably it was definitely a mon that I had considered when I was thinking like more vaguely. Obviously, like I said, Jordan was a big impetus in getting a team of 6 together. But when I was thinking more vaguely, Cleaver was certainly. I mean, I think I considered every Pokemon seriously except for Wigglytuff. And honestly, if I brought Rotom, it would have been fine.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually really worried about Rotom. It never. It was never something really that like
by how you brought
what.
You can tell you were really worried about Rotom by how you brought a single Terra Ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, my answer to Rotom was Scarf.
Scarf. Roaring Moon.
Roaring Moon.
Is that faster than Iron Treads? It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's faster than anything you could bring, I think. I mean, it's not faster than Scarf Salazzle, but that never happens.
I assume it wouldn't be faster than Scarf Tauros either, but I don't know.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I think I also.
It might be 1 point faster, but it seems like it looks like it's for Booster Choculus, which is the reasonable prep because I did bring it last week.
Yeah. I figured you weren't bringing Scarf Tauros, but so yeah, it was just Booster Choculus. Scarf Tauros would have been
Yeah, I think that definitely the rest of your moves wind up working out pretty well. Obviously, you didn't get to click many with Screamtail. Obviously, you never brought in Roaring Moon, and I do think that Breaking Swipe is just really good for trying to clean up a game. Even with Terra Dragon in a late game. As well as having early game the utility of being Intimidate on a stick. That I definitely would consider it in future. I don't know, maybe Terra Poison was the issue, and you could have done like Terra Rock to get more value out of a potential Rock Slide.
It actually was a very supportive set originally with Breaking Swipe, Tailwind, Protect, and something else I don't remember. Probably Crunch. I don't remember. But I changed it up to a Scarf set, and I don't know why I didn't leave Breaking Swipe. Probably because I already had Outrage as a stab move, and I didn't think that
if I lost Outrage again,
that would have hurt. For sure.
It's a move. It is a move that Pokemon learn. I have expected to, accidentally make it to a rematch with Raymond in playoffs last season. Not that I expected to win the game that I lost, but it was possible. And then lose to Outrage Dragonite.
Yep. That was, I'm just looking through the rest of your sets. All seem to make sense to me too. Terra Electric, as you mentioned, Decidueye. That's interesting for sure.
Yeah, obviously, let it hit Gara, let it hit Gyarados. It had knockoff instead of Leaf Blade at one point. I just preferred the Scope Lens hit into Gyarados because it had Clear Amulet for Breaking Swipe, but because Scrappy's covering Intimidate, and then I really wanted the Clear Amulet on Mimikyu.
Yeah, no ground move on Gastrodon is very interesting.
I don't know what it would hit that Hydro Ice Beam wouldn't, because you kind of always expect Heatran to Terra in front of you, and if it doesn't, you can just click Hydro.
Yeah, but there's a difference between OHKOing and 2-hit KOing Heatran, right?
Yeah. But it's also the difference between doing significant damage like Hydro into Ice Beam 2-hit KOing a maybe Terra Flying, for example, set. And then Earth Power whiffing. I don't know which move I would drop for it. Gastron did carry that game, by the way. It got
Which game?
Game 2.
The one where it died instantly?
Well, it carried by getting damage in it got 50% damage onto Zapdos because it has a high base HP stat. That's sometimes how you have to use your Pokemon. Though I was not expecting you to Helping Hand.
Yeah, I thought about close combating. I wasn't sure which was better.
Close combat would have been similar, not the same, but similar, because you have the stat drops.
Yeah. That's why.
It would have saved you more HP, but less HP into other Pokemon that have lower HP pools, like Mimikyu, for example, who does not have a high HP pool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was a
live
fun
and learn.
series.
Yeah, it was a fun series. I wish we could have gotten that game three. I think that would have been hype.
I think you would
Uh,
have really dominated me.
yeah,
I I think that I played game two about as well as I could have, and relied on two heatwave misses and not missing several play roughs to make it out. So I definitely think that you were very favored heading into game three. I think you were very heavy. You were pretty favored in prep as well, and that I just
I
wound up coming together with the right squad of 6.
Yep, I also agree that I was favored in prep. I just, I mean, game one you had an amazing prep and play. That just like completely like your game one game plan.
The game if
my
I
game one game plan.
the game if I faked out Sandy Shocks instead, right?
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what happened in I think every mock I did. Was they faked out Sandy Shocks, and so
How many mocks did you? I obviously
I did mocks with 2 people.
I had less than 3 hours with this team.
Yeah.
So I definitely did not have the chance to do mocks. I'm finding everyone's doing mocks against me, and maybe I need to be doing more mocks, or maybe you just wasted all your heatwave hits in the mocks.
I did. I think I did get very lucky in mocks. Like I ended up critting several times, and I don't think I missed a single heat wave.
Yeah.
And so, yep, it's honestly
The
it
Slazzle
evens
Sash,
out.
very broken. I feel like this always happens when I run Sash on Slazzle. It just never goes to Sash.
Yeah, well, I mean, I expected it to be Sash, so I didn't try to. I never invested in like trying to OHKO it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was a situation like obviously maybe the most questionable play you had on turn was that turn 6 game, game one, the first game where you went for the Brave Bird into my Protect and went for Heatwave. Maybe your best out there was the Earth Power play.
Oh, that's the turn I was thinking about. Tailwinding, I think. That's the turn. Which I don't know if it wins me game one. I don't think it wins me game one. But
I think you needed the Slazzle not to be Sash that turn to win. Because I think you needed just a lot of damage with Etran that you weren't getting out of spread Heatwave.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't get rid of the chance to switch at all this series except into Gastrodon.
And that was, I mean, it ended up working.
Well, yeah, but obviously not in a way which was favoring me. So you definitely kept up a lot of very, very solid pressure. I think if you had Flamethrower of Earth Power, it would have been a game favoring you. And yeah, if you'd Earth Powered, because obviously I hadn't run Sash on Salazzle yet at that point. I think I ran, Pashu Berry, and Eject Pack, and Choice Specs. So, I've made some interesting Slazzle plays. Think Focus Sash is the bread and butter. I think you could have made the play for that Earth Power. I think that was probably your best out to game one.
Sure.
Though I don't know if it was.
But you played and prepped well enough. I don't think I ever win game one unless I am willing to adjust my strategy when I see.
Yeah, I think you definitely had to consider switching through my Tailwind. I think if you've gone Heatran on Sludge Bomb, then it wouldn't have taken any damage. But difficult to know which slot to do that in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Of course, yeah. Had a fun series.
I'll be excited to see your post-con, unless you're just putting this in your video.
Yeah, this is going in my video.
All right, cool. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, sub to both of us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.